Hi, this is the Great Me, and this is my Forest Fury Warrior tutorial video. With the changes to Bloodthirst in patch 3.1.3, our rotation has changed just slightly. Because the cooldown on Whirlwind is exactly twice as long as Bloodthirst, the basic rotation is going to look like Whirlwind, Bloodthirst, Bloodthirst. Depending on how precise you want to be with the rotation, this is what it looks like on an exact time scale. And this is a close-up of me practicing the new rotation. Note that I'm not really trying to do slams or heroic strike, I'm just focusing on the rotation. Using the proper glyphs can have a major effect on your DPS. For your major glyphs, you should be using Heroic Strike, Whirlwind, and Execution. For your minor glyphs, you should be using Glyph of Battle, Blood Rage, and Enduring Victory. I know in one of my previous videos I mentioned jumping to cancel a non-instant slam, but a viewer actually pointed out to me that you can make a simple macro in order to help deal with that. All you need to do is make a macro like it looks on the screen, and then whenever you hit slam, it'll automatically try to stop casting the bar, so if it's not an instant, it will not cast. The only problem with this is that sometimes it doesn't exactly work, so you still may need to jump, but most of the time it does work. One of the things that you can do that won't really help your DPS, but it'll definitely help save your raid, is to be able to quickly shield wall and or taunt if you need to when a tank dies. Using macros will definitely help you get faster at equipping your shield and then using shield wall. This is the macro that I use, but you can easily modify it to also taunt the boss. Note that when you use this macro, you're going to need to hit it at least twice, and that it can be a little screwy at times depending on when your offhand is hitting, because if it hits, then it will not equip the shield for you. It has to go through a global cooldown. Once you shield wall and the mob is on you, you should not be really worried about making threat. You should just focus on putting debuffs such as Thunderclap and Demo Shout up on the boss, so you take the least amount of damage possible, because you're obviously not in tanking gear, so it's going to be hard on the healers. Because raid saving isn't all that common, and generally when it happens I'm not hitting the record button, I wasn't able to get a really good clip for this, but this is the best that I have. Alright, so this is a recording of me and a 10-man Ulduar alt run basically. What happened was our tank died, and then it went to our shaman who was doing crazy threat, and then it went to me, so I popped my macro. And normally in a situation like this I'd be using like Demo Shout and Thunderclap and whatnot, but because I knew it was a wipe anyway, I didn't really bother with that, but I still hit shield block and stuff like that just to stay up and alive as long as possible. How you keybind your abilities and how you use those keybinds can have an effect on your DPS. Keybinds are similar to add-ons in the fact that no one setup is going to be perfect for everybody. I know my way is pretty screwed up compared to most people's, but it works for me. I'm going to explain my keybind setup in the hopes that it can help get you guys to think about how you want yours to be set up. I have my keybinds mapped to my keypad. I use a total of 22 individual different key bindings, and this is the mapping for them. The only keybind that you cannot see is what I have Heroic Strike bound to, which is my mouse wheel. This picture shows my hand placement. As you can see, my index finger is on Bloodthirst, my middle finger is on Whirlwind, and my ring finger is on Slam. Also, under most circumstances, I have my pinky finger over my Enrage Regeneration button, just to be safe. In combat, I always have my right mouse button held down, and then I use the upper part of my palm or the area just beneath where the fingers start in order to move. If you have the bartender add-on, it can be really easy to set up your keybinds. All you need to do is open up the bartender options menu and then click on key bindings. From there, all you need to do is hover over a button and then press the key that you want it to be bound to. If you wish to use less buttons than I do, keep in mind that you can use Alt or Control as modifiers for your key bindings. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to contact me in game or leave a comment on this video. If you haven't noticed, it's been harder and harder for me to find topics to talk about in the tutorials, so if you have any, please let me know, because I really do actually enjoy making these videos to help everybody out. Also, I'm looking to maybe start a tutorial series that does not necessarily have to do with Fury Warriors, so if you have any ideas for that, again, please let me know.